Live from Fox 8 Sports, this is Fox 8 Live Tailgate. Sponsored by your local Southern Quality Ford dealers and the Ford F-Series, celebrating 43 years of truck leadership. And Nissan. Choose Nissan today. For great offers on our most exciting lineup ever, shop NissanUSA.com.
We begin with a beautiful look in on the brand new Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. It's where a pair of undefeated teams, the Saints and the Raiders, will square off in prime time. Hello everyone, alongside Chris Hagan, I'm Juan Kincaid. Welcome to Fox 8 Live Tailgate. It's our duty to get you ready for tonight's Saints matchup against the Raiders. We've got you for the entire hour, previewing the matchup from all angles. Chris, Saints love primetime games. Should be a really good one out there in Vegas tonight.
Yes, indeed. This is where they've typically made some of their biggest statements. Second week in a row with a huge audience. They already put the Bucs in their place, saying, not so fast. We still run this division now. They have the chance to move to 2-0 with their first road win.
We shall see on that front. Once upon a time, a pro sports league having a team in Las Vegas was unheard of. Times have obviously changed, as the NHL was the first to land in Sin City, and tonight the NFL will make its debut in Vegas as well. A brand new stadium without a fan to be seen will welcome the Saints to primetime. Not only is this a special moment for Vegas, but Drew Brees said he recognizes the significance of what's about to take place.
It's absolutely a historic moment, right? First professional football team in Vegas, the opening of this new stadium, which I'm sure is tremendous. So yeah, there's a lot of unique things to it, you know. And then obviously, you know, the game itself. Hey, this is an up and coming team with a lot of talent, and it's Monday Night Football, and you know, obviously we want to continue to, you know, get better and take the next step, you know, ourselves as a team.
The Saints couldn't have asked for a more convenient road opener. No fans in the brand new NFL city and no fans in the brand new stadium.
Still, they'll have to be on their A game. The Raiders won't want to open a new stadium with a loss. They'll be playing their hardest to prove it's their night and not the Saints' night.
You're right about that. Time now to get you out to Las Vegas for our first pregame report from Sean Vazan.
Well, greetings, Juan, from Las Vegas, Nevada, here inside Allegiant Stadium. And I must tell you, this building behind me is absolutely beautiful. $1.9 billion, and here they are. The NFL is ready for Las Vegas. Saints and Raiders, they'll make history tonight. We know that. But for the black and gold, the big story, no Michael Thomas, which should force the Saints to go back to their roots on offense.
So Michael Thomas is out tonight. That's unfortunate, but that also means someone else will have a chance to step up in the Monday night spotlight. Who will it be? Jared Cook, Emmanuel Sanders, Alvin Kamara, or even Traquan Smith will all have a chance to make their mark in the passing game. But history says the answer isn't singular, but plural. A combination of those players will likely have to emerge. That shouldn't be a problem for Brees. For years, that was his calling card, spreading the ball out and throwing it to anyone who was eligible, with everyone contributing. That may be the way to adequately replace Thomas. Losing an elite player is never an ideal scenario, but the Saints are a team, and Brees is a quarterback built to withstand the blow.
You're joined now with Saints Hall of Famer and our own Deuce McAllister. Deuce, before we get into Michael Thomas, look around. This is pretty nice. It's a pretty nice digs here for the Las Vegas Raiders.
This is very nice, and I mean, this is a stadium you can be proud of, and I think they've done an excellent job of it. I mean, when you look at the seating capacity and the ranges of it, they're going to be using this one for a very, very long time. So the Raiders got it right here.
It's interesting. They told me they're going to play on natural grass with the Raiders, and UNLV is going to use the stadium, and they're going to go field turf. But hey, I guess it's a good time to be a Raider fan. As for the Saints, Mike Thomas is out. We know it, but there's no secret here. They're going to spread the ball without him here. It's something they can accomplish. They've done it before. They used to spread the ball a lot. That's Drew Brees' calling card. So what do you think happens without Michael Thomas?
Well, you'll have 9 to 10 guys get involved as far as catching receptions. And so for Sean, he's really going to have to find a flow. And I think it's going to be about setting that pace from an offensive standpoint and finding a rhythm. They really never found it last week. And so, other guys we know have to step up. I'll be interested to see how many 2 tight end sets he uses. Does he go with 3 or 4 receivers? Is a guy like Callaway up? We know Benny Flower is one of the young men that was called up again this week. He and Marcus Hunt. So same 2 guys. So let's see if they can make an impact like last week.
COVID protocols, hard bubble on the road. Seems pretty self-explanatory, but as a former player, Do you think that's something they have to get used to, or is that just something they just, look, this is our job, we're going to check in and then check out when the time comes?
41-year-old Deuce is a lot different than 21-year-old Deuce. So the older, mature me says it's not a problem. But going back and looking at it at that age, yeah, it would have been tough. I mean, but those guys have enough veteran leadership on that squad to let those younger guys know, hey, look, man, we can come to Vegas and hang out during all season. This isn't one of those trips. And trust me, Sean Payton has delivered that message sternly. We can go to Vegas, but let it be the off season and not worry about hanging out and partying in Vegas right now.
Obviously, unique circumstances in that. These are all the fans you'll see here tonight, right here. A lot of empty seats. We saw it last week. When the Bucs came to the Saints, I think everyone kind of took a little minute to get used to it. But is that an advantage for the road team with no fans, do you think, in this situation?
If you have a veteran team. If you have a veteran team, it's an advantage for you because you know you have to go out and play. If you're a rookie and this is your first NFL experience, it's almost like an eye shock, like, whoa, this is practice. And in a sense, it may help you in that stance, but the noise, the talk that you hear on the field, we can hear it we can hear it upstairs, and the fans can hear it obviously at home. So I think that's the motivation that you need, even though it shouldn't be. It's just how it is.
Let's talk about the run game. I thought last week they did a good job splitting the carries with AK and Latavius. Is that something that you think continues here throughout the season?
I think really particularly without having Michael Thomas, it's an opportunity to run the football a little bit more, but I still want them to be aggressive on first down. You can't let the Raiders really lock in and say, hey, look, if we take away the run, we force Drew Brees to try to find some of those receivers. You have to take advantage of the rookie corner. You have to put him in some stressful situations. And I think also you have to make Abrams cover. You can't allow him just to be a guy that drops down in the box and be a big hitter. So there's some opportunity to take advantage of some things that they do defensively. Use your speed. You have a true advantage of speed on your squad. Go use it.
What's the clearest path to a Saints victory here tonight?
Taking care of the football and making Carr have to beat you. You have to take away Josh Jacobs. You cannot allow Josh Jacobs to get in any type of rhythm. He's an okay receiver. They like to use him a little bit more as a receiver, but you have to make Derek Carr beat you. You can't just allow them to line up behind that big offensive line. It's huge. You can't allow them to say, hey, look, you can have the option on third down to run it or pass it. That's just too many options. Make them have to throw the ball on third down.
Deuce says stop the run and take care of the football. That's the key to a Saints victory. Deuce, thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Back to you.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Here's our first inactive report. Guys that we know will not play. Michael Thomas, as Sean mentioned. Running back Dwayne Washington. Offensive lineman Will Clapp, he's out. Also, Marcus Davenport not playing once again. Shy Tuttle, Chase Hansen, DJ Swearinger. Those 7 guys will not play. As for the Raiders, Thibodeau High product Amik Robertson, he will not play. Neither will starting linebacker Nick Kwiatkowski. But Henry Ruggs, the young receiver, he's active today despite the knee injury.
Well, Saints tight end Jared Cook has played for his share of teams, but he's a guy that's gotten better with age with every stop that he's made. During his time in Oakland, Cook set a career high with 68 catches in 2018, the year before joining the Saints in 2019. And given what we saw last week against Tampa Bay, he could top that mark this year. I said it before Michael Thomas was ruled out, and I'll say it again, especially now that we know Thomas won't play tonight. Jared Cook is going to eat. Double-digit catches would not surprise me at all. As for the matchup of head coaches, though, Cook says Coach Payton and Gruden share a lot of traits.
Both of them are intense as hell. Both of them bring their own juice. They love watching film. Both of them will sit there and watch film all day. And they're always, both offensive minded and always trying to figure out the best plays. They'll sit up there all night and just try to figure out the best plays that they can have on Sunday. And I think they're both two of the more well-prepped offensive coaches that I've had in this league. Going into a game, you're going to know exactly what you want and what they're expecting of you as well to go out there and run during the game. So both of them are well prepared. They come from the same tree, so that really doesn't surprise me a lot.
What I think could be a lot of fun tonight is the play calling from these two coaches, each with their share of weapons on that side of the ball.
You're right, but without Michael Thomas, does that make Sean Payton's job a lot tougher tonight?
To borrow a line from Deuce, yes and no. I think that obviously you want your go-to target to be available, but again, this is why you have Jared Cook. He's the athletic pass-catching tight end that fits this offense and Drew Brees perfectly. He's a constant matchup issue for defenses. Feed Kamara, feed Cook, feed Latavius Murray, another former Raider. The Saints have the depth to win this game even without Michael Thomas.
No doubt about that. Plenty of talent in that Saints offense. They can just get it done on defense. All right, coming up on Fox 8 Live Tailgate, a deep dive on what the Raiders do best. Sean Vazan will jump into the film room to break down the Raiders' run game. And later, John Gruden's time in television is perhaps most remembered for his quarterback camp segments, but he never got one with Taysom Hill. You won't want to miss his evaluation of the Saints' Swiss Army knife. The Pro Football Hall of Fame released its long list of 2021 nominees, and on it, a few Saints legends. Linebackers Sam Mills and Pat Swilling representing the Dome Patrol, and defensive tackle Leroy Glover also on the list. Former Everett star Reggie Wayne, former Newman standout Peyton Manning, and Warwick Dunn, who prepped up in Baton Rouge. Fan voting is underway. A list of 25 semifinalists will be revealed in November, down to the 15 finalists sometime in January. Good luck to the three Saints guys. The Saints don't give up 100-yard rushers very often, and at this point, it's not a coincidence. 44 straight games without having an opposing back top that mark. Impressive.
And those games include facing some of the NFL's best. Ezekiel Elliott, prime Todd Gurley when he was in L.A., Christian McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook. The list goes on and on. But if you didn't know, Raiders running back Josh Jacobs, one of the best in the game right now. Don't believe me? Well, maybe you'll believe Sean Fazan.
Welcome back inside the film room, where today we are breaking down the Raiders' run game in particular. Something Sean Payton said earlier in the week that really jumped out was how much John Gruden likes to use different personnel groupings and formations to disguise his running game, a lot like Sean Payton himself. And to illustrate that, we have one play the Raiders ran, but they ran it through 4 different groupings and formations. And let's begin right here. Example 1, first play of the game, by the way. It's their 12 personnel of 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and a back. Here are your receivers, here are your tight ends, and there is the back. This receiver will eventually run in motion. Next example. This is going to be their 11 personnel of 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, and 1 back. Cars under center. Here's your receiver, 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 tight end, and here is your running back. Again, same play. Third example. It's going to be your 13 power personnel, which is 3 tight ends, 1 back, and 1 receiver. Here's your receiver, here's your tight end, here's your tight end, here's your tight end, and here is your back. And finally, example number 4 is your traditional base set or 21 personnel. It is 2 backs, 2 receivers, and 1 tight end. Here we go. Receiver, receiver, tight end, fullback, and running back. So 1 play, 4 different times, 4 different looks, 4 different formations. Now, next example. We're going to actually show the play as it's run. It's the outside zone play. They ran a lot of this last week against Carolina. And what it simply is your offensive line is going to move kind of in unison, in this case to the right. They'll move all kind of in lockstep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your tight end and your receiver all kind of flowing to the right. And the running back is going to take the handoff and run laterally and find the crease and then cut up to get to the end zone. But watch what happens on this play. The ball is going to be snapped. The handoff is going to go to Jacobs. He follows, doesn't cut back. Instead, turns the corner and gets to the pylon. Now, if you see the backside of this play, you really understand he read the play well. Here we go. Blocker, 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 and blocker. As the play moves, 95 right here is going to beat his man. This is where the cutback lane should be and clog up the lane. So instead of cutting it back, Jacob sees it and just bounces it outside, whereas there's a seal, and he's able to turn the corner and get into the end zone. The 3rd touchdown for him on the day. So Jacobs is a guy that they run the ball a lot with. He runs outside zone, he runs inside zone, he runs counters, dives, all that. But he's a guy that they trust. So the Saints must stop Jacobs to have a chance at winning this game.
Look, I'm a big fan of Josh Jacobs, not just because he's on my fantasy football team, but because you can see the progression with him. It's very similar to Alvin Kamara. Kamara broke out in his rookie season and then took off his second year. Jacobs has done the same thing. Really steady as the Raiders' go-to back a year ago. 3 touchdowns in their season debut and win over the Panthers last week. I think Jacobs is poised to have a big year, but it would help the Saints if he kind of saved some of those touchdowns for another week.
And, of course, as the Saints, you know exactly what you have to do first to win this game and to stop Josh Jacobs. If you can't do that, it's going to maybe a long night ahead in that opener inside their Allegiant Stadium. All right, up next, the Saints double pass from Drew Brees to Taysom Hill to Alvin Kamara wasn't just an exclamation mark on their Week 1 win. It was a statement of intent that Taysom playbook is ever expanding. Hear how John Gruden is preparing for the threat. And Thomas Morstead isn't the only special teamer with some extra confidence this week. We'll explain as Fox 8 Live Tailgate rolls on. Punter Thomas Morstead's the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week for his performance he turned in against the Bucs last weekend. 5 of his punts landed inside the 15-yard line. The only one that had returned, it was for no yards. This is the 5th time that Morstead's won this honor, which is the most ever for any Saint. He also had a squib kick that caused 2 Buck players to collide and leave the ball on the ground for Benny Fowler, who's going to play today. Maybe we'll see, to recover. Special teams, though, pretty good.
Yeah, special teams is always an important factor, especially with the Saints. It figures to be once again tonight, especially with the Raiders as well, who have the reigning AFC Special Teams Player of the Week and their kicker, Daniel Carlson.
The Saints' Swiss Army knife, though, on offense also excels on special teams. Of course, I'm talking about Taysom Hill, who Raiders head coach John Gruden just loves. He loves the no-nonsense, do whatever it takes to win approach that Taysom brings to every game.
It's a sophisticated problem because of all the things he can do. You know, in my lifetime, I don't remember a quarterback that can throw and run read options and then line up at tight end. This guy's a weapon. He's a special teams demon. He can be the personal protector on the punt team. He's a great football player. You know, a lot of guys call it, he's a football player. This guy's a football player. He can play anywhere on the football field. And you got to be aware of number 7 because he can ruin the game. And they have a great package to keep us off his scent. You know, you just can't prepare for him for anything. He's a football player.
A football player. You could probably count on one hand how many teams that would want Taysom to be their starting quarterback. But every team would love to have a do-it-all Taysom on their roster. He's that valuable.
You just couldn't help but throw shade at Taysom playing quarterback.
Listen.
You can't help it.
I like Taysom as a quarterback, but I still don't think – I think too many teams would have to make an adjustment to their offense, a drastic adjustment to their offense for him to be a starter for them.
At least acknowledge that it is a rare skill set that Taysom has, but the Saints do indeed make it work. I'm honestly surprised we haven't seen more teams try to make their own Taysom role. Maybe it's coming with teams like the Eagles and quarterback Jalen Hurts. Who knows? But what I do know, Taysom is another guy that could be more of a factor with Michael Thomas out tonight. Always interesting to see those Taysom plays from Sean Payton. And as a fan of the game, John Gruden has become a fan as well for sure.
Nobody else in the sports office is in agreement with me on this one. And listen, I think Taysom's a fantastic. I think he could be a good football player, good quarterback.
A good football player?
He's a good football player, but he could be a good quarterback in the right system. But how many teams are going to change their system for him?
Depends on what else he can do. We got to see the accuracy issues. We missed out on it with the preseason. But Taysom's time could be coming.
We would have loved to see him play those preseason games against the first-team players. Didn't happen. All right, coming up, it was a thrilling Sunday of football around the NFL that worked out pretty well for the black and gold. We'll set the scene. And later, Sean Payton gave himself a grade of awful as a play caller against the Bucs. Jeff Duncan stopping by to discuss the importance of an improved performance from him.